Alright, we're troubleshooting a hot water heater. I've got an electrical box here, a plug. We trace our electricity down into these. This is electric, obviously. So they're all pretty much the same. Here's your high limit protector, that's the temperature setting. Heating element, a lower heating element with a thermostat setting. Here's a picture of what a heating element looks like. They're all pretty much the same. So I should get some number when I put an ohm meter across here, so let's see what happens. So I'm getting a number of, 3 something. Alright, I just went to the bottom one and I'm getting really no reading, which means something is wrong. So now I'm going to pull out both heating elements. It's screwed in. It's probably, I'll say 1.25 inches across. So we're going to move these 2 screws and find a socket, I guess. Right, we've removed them. We'll test now the impedance. Alright, so there's a number. But on the other one we get nothing. See that? No, that shouldn't be there. But it is there, and I'll tell you why. Because there's a mouse inside the water tank. The mouse got on this. It came apart on this thing, and the mouse then caused the corrosion. And I found a mouse foot in the water as it was draining. Well, how did that happen? This is only a year old, but it's been outside for about 4 years. I didn't cap the inlet and outlet. So if you take a hot water heater out of service for any time, especially if you're in the wilderness, you might want to cap the top and the bottom. Little mouse goes in, can't get out, you don't know it, heat it up, water smells funny. See, this was working, all of a sudden it wasn't working. I drained the water out, the water smells funny. I recycled the water through a few times because I know that's not right, and eventually out comes an itty bitty little mouse foot. We're going to test a new one. $18 for a new one. Numbers are... Okay. Alright, let's go fish Mr. Mouse out. Reset button, hot setting, power in, upper heating element, lower heating element, temperature setting. So I've been looking in here for a while and I can see sediment and it's smelly, but I don't see a mouse. But there has to be a mouse, because where there's a mouse leg, there's usually a mouse tail and a head at the other end. So what I'm going to do now is put a hose in here and back flush this and drain it out through this hole I made in this plywood floor. Okay. I'm just using a little trickle now. I'm putting the hose in here and I'm moving it around in different angles and getting all the little remnants out of there. No mouse has come out. Just this smelly granular stuff. Haven't seen any bones. No little mouse skulls yet. We've succeeded. It's clean inside, nothing's funny coming out. So what we're going to do now is clean this up, dry off the water. Put a little bit of bleach in here, heat it, and see what happens. And put a little antioxidant on there to make sure nothing bad happens. Make sure you don't have any water down there. Make sure your ground's tight. Look at that ground moving around, huh? I've checked it before. It's moved because I've been moving this. But the point is you check everything all the time, because everything is going to go wrong no matter how well you do it. So when you're filling it, you don't turn on the electricity until after it's full, because you want both of those heating elements submerged in water, because if they're not, you will damage them. Now all of this took probably 3-4 hours. If you make $100 an hour, maybe you shouldn't do this. You should hire a plumber at $70 an hour. But a new heater is about $300. Well, it's working. This is nice and warm. Seems to have heated up rather rapidly, actually. So these two are where the heating element wires come in. That's where the damage is. Let's look inside. Heating element seems okay. Perform a test here. Looking inside, we see rust and this piece is broken off. I've already did this. Well, moisture seems to be indicated, like maybe some water somehow dripped on this. The water probably came from some over spillage from the inlet or outlet side of this thing when I was hooking it up after a previous repair, and the moisture's been sitting in there for some months. That is probably what happened. See, I've had to undo that before, and water drips out, or in setting things up you get water coming through, and so water was overflowing. And when I was repairing the bottom element a little less than a year ago, there's all kinds of testing I had to do. So this was a brewing problem for some time.